Welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, RJ Carbone. You are listening to BD4, where there's no better way to get your Yankees and Knicks analysis. We also do MMA. Yanks every series, Knicks every game, MMA on occasion. Let's get to it.
Anthony for three. That one goes down, and the game is tied.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
The Yankees are champions of baseball.
Shaking and baking right here on the neophyte.
U.S. trying to close the show. She was doing a great job of feeding that. It's over.
Don't you regret not coming to the Knicks? Don't you regret not coming to the
Game over. World Series over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
Okay, welcome to the show. Welcome to episode 718 of the podcast. I'm your host, RJ. You are listening to BD4, where there's no better way to get your Yankees and Knicks analysis. We also do MMA. Yanks every series, Knicks every game, MMA on occasion. Welcome to episode 718. We have another guest joining us in this episode. This is part 3 of our playoff preview. Part 1, we had Russ join us from at NY Yankee Dad on Instagram. In part 2, we had Greg Gill from Yankee Crazy Podcast. And we have Yankees fan Dom Randazzo rejoining the show. He's been on a few times here tonight in part 3. So we're going to get right into that in a few minutes. But first, welcome to the show, episode 718. Appreciate you all tuning in. I'm excited, man. I am super excited. Every year, I try to go to at least a couple of playoff games for the Yankees. So after not making it last season, it just felt weird. Now, granted, I was in Sicily living my best life at that time for most of October, but it still just felt weird. And it's been a weird feeling not being at the stadium in October 2 years now. So I'm going to be there tomorrow night. Me and a few of my cousins and siblings and some friends are going to the game, and I will be sitting in the usual section that I sit in during playoff games, and that is 237, baby. I'm right in the left field bleachers. That's my spot. If you go to a Yankees playoff game, and it's your first time going, I absolutely advise you to try and get tickets into the bleachers, whether that's the right field bleachers, left field bleachers. If you want the full Bronx experience, you have to get the bleacher seats at a postseason game, because that's where you really feel the atmosphere. I'm not calling anybody who gets the general seating, what the kids call casuals. I'm not saying that you're that, but what I am saying is, if you're into, New York Yankees, home field advantage, all that, like, the bleachers is where the Bronx assholes go. It's where all the drunks are. It's where all the guys who yell 27 in your face are. That's where you want to sit. You want that Yankees fan arrogance, you go to the bleachers. You want to feel like a piece of scum Yankees fan, that's where you want to go. And that's why I love being a Yankees fan, because it's a bunch of guys with the mentality that I carry as a Yankees fan, be a piece of shit, to the max. It's like me, but like multiplied times billions and like much more extreme than I am. That's why I love the bleacher seats. So if you want the full Yankees fan experience, go to the bleachers in October. That's where it goes down. So I'm thrilled. I've been doing nothing but thinking. I was off today from work, so I've been doing nothing but thinking about tomorrow. I've been like going to each extreme. Like, well, you're the Yankees. Obviously, you're gonna go and do this. Do you just go? Confidence. I was feeling good, and then one moment I'm like, shit, I'm scared. Reagan's and then Walker and Lugo and yada yada. So I'm trying to balance it out, and that's what I like to believe I did here in this episode with Dom. And yeah, like overall, man, what I'm trying to ride into this postseason with is confidence. It's a confidence. And I have a confidence now that the Houston Astros are. I listen, you aren't going to find anybody who wanted to play the Houston Astros more than I did. I'm going to tell you that right now. I wanted to play them. I wanted to stomp on their throats and sweep them one more time, this time in a playoff. I really wanted to. I truly believed that team was a joke. I told everybody all season long the Houston Astros were washed, done, and their reign has been over. Nobody believed me, and I kept saying it. I kept insisting it. That team is done. So I wanted to face them because I know the Yankees would have smashed their face in. But unfortunately, that team sucks so much, they weren't even able to get out of their little preliminary round. So now, also, fortunately, the Yankees have kind of an easier walk. If you were on the boat of I'm scared of Houston, then you definitely believe this is an easier path. Regardless, this is now leaving the Yankees with no excuse, which maybe puts more pressure on them. Because now you're sitting here and you're the $300 million New York Evil Empire 27-time champion Yankees, and you have to get through two of the Royals, Guardians, and Tigers in order to come out of the American League. Three mid-market American League Central teams. Get the job done. The Royals, Tigers, and Guardians should not be the reason the Yankees are sitting on the couch. Get the job done. You're the New York Yankees, so my message to them for tomorrow night, go out and be the New York Yankees. And folks, with that said, we're going to head to our first break, get back, get to our trivia, and then we'll get into this episode with Dom Randazzo and I. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hey there. Thanks for listening in so far. If you enjoy this episode, please give us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks so much. You can follow us on social media as well. On Instagram, we're at BD4Pod and at Rob J. Carbone. On X, we're at BD4Pod and at RJCBD4. And on Facebook, we're BD4. If you're interested in our website, just go to www.bd4blog.com. You can subscribe to our blog on there right on the front page. Just like on the podcast, we cover Yankees, Knicks, and MMA. Also on our website are the links to the different platforms for the podcast. Thanks so much.
All right. Welcome back to the show, episode 718 of the podcast. I'm your host, RJ Carbone. Let's get to our trivia right now. All right. Our trivia question for this episode. Which decade did the Yankees appear in the World Series the most in? Which decade did the Yankees appear in the World Series the most in? Let me know the answer wherever you can reach me. Folks, that's it. That's it for the top of this episode. Before we get into this segment where Dom joins us and talks, regular season review, playoff preview, and all that, my internet has been down. So I had to do this Zoom call where I could find Wi-Fi that was in my garage. I have Wi-Fi in the garage, so I didn't use my, the quality is not going to be the greatest. I don't have the lighting in there. I don't have the usual setup in the garage, obviously. And the acoustics are a little different in there. So it's not the greatest quality episode once again, but it's enough. So I do hope you enjoy it. Again, Dom Randazzo rejoins the show. He's been on a few times, and we talk Yankees regular season, gave some grades, and then we talk some postseason baseball. So hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get into that right now right after this break. Studio 69 Productions is a podcast production agency created by Leo Rodriguez to allow content creators to market their podcast. It's an online platform that will market your podcast or any other project that you're working on. Get in touch with Leo Rodriguez from Studio 69 Productions. You can find Studio 69 Productions on Instagram at Studio69NJ. Studio 69 Productions, where dreams are heard and born.
Thanks for listening to BD4, where there is no better way to get your Yankees and Knicks analysis. We also do MMA, Yanks every series, Knicks every game, and MMA on occasion.
Okay, that's not what I wanted to do. Whatever. All right. We will start. Hopefully my mic doesn't pick up anything, like any fans in the background, but should be good. It should be clear.
Yeah, I don't hear anything. It's really clear, so it's good.
Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is I want you to give us a grade on the Yankees season, how we're going to do it. We're going to separate it into different groups, like just grade the lineup. Tell me what you thought about the rotation, grade the rotation, the bullpen, grade the fundamentals of this team, and then grade the Yankees as a whole.
All right.
Start with that.
All right, where are we starting?
Let's start with the lineup. What do you think? Their overall performance on the in the regular season. How you thought they fared?
I think I'd give it. Oh wow, that's tough. I think I'd give them like a B.
Okay. Why?
I think I kind of got saved by Wells a little bit.
By Wells?
Yeah, I think him coming on in the second half helped out a lot. And I think other than an insane MVP season and then Soto, like just being him, like
Okay.
I feel like I don't know.
You
I
have
feel
a
like
B. All right.
some of the guys around could have been better. Like Stanton was better beginning, and then he got hurt, and then he came back, and he hasn't been like that great. Verdugo obviously sucks.
Yes.
Torres has been. He was better once he started hitting the lead off, but he's still like not like he's just fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously Soto and Judge were fucking historic. Wells had a really good summer, you know. He struggled at the start of the year, kind of got them going. And do you hear that on my mic?
No.
Okay. That scared the shit out of me. Something's going on outside. I kind of want to check it out. Yeah, no, I would say I give it an A- just because I thought they were the top lineup, at least in the American League. There wasn't many lineups that I thought were better. Judge, Soto obviously led the way. Wells helped them out in the middle of the summer. He got hot. I thought that what's his name, Torres, like you said, got going in the second half. And I mean, they got production from Jazz Chisholm when he came here midseason. He really helped out that lineup. But yeah, the biggest holes were shortstop, first base, and left field, really.
First base was all year.
Yeah, I mean it's been an issue for years now. So I still want A- because at the end of the day, as far as the regular season goes, they produced enough offense, and I think that was the strength of their team. The rotation, what do you think the rotation was?
Wow. I would probably give it a B plus. I think Cole's first handful of starts weren't great, but he's back to what he was. Heel has obviously been great outside of he missed a couple starts, whatever, who cares? Cortez was solid all year. He was better than what I thought he would be. Schmidt is always good. Like he missed a ton of time, but he's just like rock solid starters. I'd
Yeah,
actually probably go like A minus, honestly. Like they
really.
had some villain starts with Poteet. Like he was pretty like he was not bad.
Yeah,
uh,
I like Foti. He's got a good changeup.
yeah. Will Warren sucks. That
Yes.
was unfortunate that he had to get a couple starts, but whatever. And then Rodon was I don't know, he was fine. I don't think he was like amazing this year, but
No.
bad. Like he was just like solid season.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think I give it a B. I give it a B. I thought it was solid. I think that's what a B is. They did their job. But
Yeah.
considering that Cole went down for 2 months to start the season, Luis Heel stepped up there.
Oh,
Um,
we didn't even mention Stroman.
Stroman, yeah, it
Yeah,
was whatever.
he
I didn't
sucked.
think Stroman was terrible, but I think he was just like kind of irrelevant, you know?
Now he is because he's not going to. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, he kind of started well, but then he really just I don't know. He didn't really give that. His stuff sucks so much, dude. I watch him pitch, and there's just no movement. If he comes anywhere near the zone, that shit gets barreled. So
I
I have
don't think
no
he's going to be.
expectation for him.
I don't think he's going to be getting innings
No,
in October, or at least he
no.
shouldn't.
We'll get into that in a little bit too. But I thought the rotation was fine. I thought Cole came back and he was good. I think a couple of the bad starts against Boston kind of blew up his ERA a little bit, but other than that, I thought he was very good. Rodon, I think, did exactly what they're paying him to do in the regular season. Just eat innings and punch tickets. I think, we'll find out his true value in October, but I thought Rodon did a very good job just making every start and just giving them a chance to win. He had a couple of blowups in the middle of the summer there, but Schmidt, when he came back, he was very good. I think with him, what I like most is he's never, like you said, he's always giving you a chance to stay in the game. He's never really giving any bad
He
starts in
never.
there.
Yeah, always. He's always like 5, 6 innings,
At
three
worst, it's
runs
like three
usually or
runs.
less. Yeah,
So I like him because everything he throws moves. He'll throw a lot of cutters and just mix it up a lot. So yeah, I thought the rotation was fine, ups and downs. So I gave it a B. The bullpen, this is an interesting one. I want to hear your thoughts first.
Um, again, I think they got completely saved.
Yeah,
I would. hmm, It's tough. It's not. It's not terrible. It's hard to give it a
no,
grade. I would probably give it like a C plus or a B minus. Like the bullpen is not bad, but it's not what it was like supposed to be. Like Clay Holmes obviously imploded in the
yeah,
last couple months. They got saved by Cousins basically, and some other random guys like like Tim Hills, just like a
yeah.
random lefty that's
Fucking guy.
like not bad at
No,
all. But I don't know. I think it's not an amazing bullpen, but
no.
it doesn't suck either.
I thought, yeah, I thought they had a lot. It was a different bullpen than in the past. I feel like they had a lot of guys shuffling in and out this year, a lot of DFAs. Um, I think they kind of found themselves at the end. They found a collection of guys that they're probably going to go with in October. So that kind of saved them. So I went with B minus, just because I thought they figured it out in the end. And I think the bullpen is more on the asshole who manages the team, rather than the bullpen itself. I think they have the right pieces. I just think Boone doesn't know what he's doing. He forced Clay Holmes for 5 months. And that's the only thing that concerns me because I think they've got a good collection of guys. I think Weaver's been great. Cousins has been great. Canely did a nice job this year. Hamilton looked pretty good since he's come back. And Tim Hill, I don't know how he does it, but he gets out. So they have some guys that they can go to and get out. So it's fine with me. It's not dominant, but it's been a good bullpen, or at least it's salvaged to become a good bullpen in the end, maybe. Fundamentals. What do you think about this team's in terms of executing the little things, base running, defense, situational shit.
I think I think they're probably a little bit better than they have in the last handful of years. I feel like Torres still has those mistakes, but I
Yeah,
feel like they're less of this year. I feel like they're always a bad base running team.
terrible
Just like
base running team.
always just like dumb stuff on the bases. Um, they don't really bunt.
No,
Um,
Soto will.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe B minus. Like I don't.
Really?
Yeah,
I thought their base running was so bad all
they just
year.
don't have guys that are fast. That's a
They
big
have
issue.
until the end
They have
until they
one.
called up Dominguez. Volpe's fast. Jazz has fast. I mean,
Yeah,
to me, it's just the stupid decisions. It's not even I think they have athleticism. It's just Soto's made mistakes so many times on the bases. Torres,
yep,
Jazz, twice in that one series. I just think the base running's been abysmal. I thought the defense was bad in the infield, other than Volpe, and the outfield defense hasn't been good. I just think overall they're fundamentally they were terrible. So I gave him a D. I definitely don't want to go higher than that. I just can't.
okay.
I just, dude, they fuck. I don't like. I'm terrified of what's going to happen on the bases in the playoffs.
Yeah, because those extra bases matter, or if you get
Yeah.
thrown out, like extra outs matter, obviously. So
So I gave him a D, but overall, the Yankees, in terms of their regular season, what would you grade them? I gave them a B plus just because they had the best record in the American League and they were better than the other teams.
I don't think I don't think an A is possible. I mean, what did they
No.
win? Like 93 games.
Yeah, 94.
I mean, I think, yeah, I think B plus is probably fair. Like they're not like
Dominant.
outside of the two guys at the top of the lineup, like they're not amazing anywhere really. If you want to throw Cole in there, okay, cool. But yeah, I think those two guys elevate the team a lot. And if those two guys weren't like elite level, like Hall of Fame seasons, like what would the team be? Like it'd be pretty pedestrian.
Yeah.
They do
Um,
have that's on the team, so of course, you know,
yeah, so I would agree. B plus, you would say?
yeah.
Yeah. Um, they were fine. Do you have any X factors entering the postseason? We'll move on to that. One arm and one bat. I have. I'll give mine after yours.
In X Factor,
Yeah, one arm, one bat.
bat, I think will be Chisholm.
Okay.
He's gonna hit like fifth or sixth. He'll probably I feel like no, because you're gonna have Wells and then probably Stanton and then Chisholm
Well, Stanton, Jazz. Yeah.
probably is what it's gonna be. Um yeah, I think Chisholm. I think I feel like Stanton's been good in the playoffs, but I don't know. I feel like his contact rate is not fantastic. I feel like Chisholm could just have a
His
big impact on the team.
he
Because
scares this shit out of me because his two strike hitting is horrendous.
yeah, I just think that he's gonna be the one that's gonna be up when guys are on base, and he's gonna be up in spots where he's got to drive in people.
He can. He could definitely have a big postseason.
Right. Okay. Pitcher. Wow. Um, I think it's probably either Luke Weaver or Clarke Schmidt. I think I'm just curious to see like how good Weaver can lock down the playoffs. Like
Yeah.
he's never been on a playoff team before,
No.
so and I
Where
think
was he before the Yankees?
he was on the D-backs a couple years ago.
Was he really?
Yeah, he was. Um,
Diamondbacks.
yeah, I don't think Clarke Schmidt's gonna be he's gonna be the four, but I think he can pitch
He'll
as
probably
good as
start
three.
next round if they make it.
Yeah. Although I think he's good enough to like go four guys. So I
Yeah.
mean I think they should use him. And even if they don't use him in their rotation, like they should
He'll
use
come
him.
out of the pen.
Yeah.
All right. So you want Schmidt and Chisholm?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Rodon just because I've something about him, man. I feel like this is gonna be a postseason where Rodon will either come out of it and every single Yankees fan hates his guts, or he's gonna come out of it and everybody is just a gigantic fan of him. There's gonna be no in between with him, but I'm gonna pick him as an X factor on the mound. Um, I feel like he could thrive in this environment just as much as he could implode in it. Um, and then in the lineup, I'm going to go with Dominguez. I think, I just think the kid can hit. I think there's a lot of power from the left side. He hasn't hit yet, and it was a small sample, but I don't know. I feel like this kid's got the internal clock. I feel like he's not really afraid of the big moment. And I could see him, if he gets a fastball, jumps on it, and just big home run, the crowd goes nuts. I could see him becoming an X factor. So I want Rodon and Dominguez
If he even plays.
if he fucking plays. Yeah, there's that.
He's he has. There's no way. I feel like, yeah, what you texted me like maybe a couple days ago, like
Yeah,
he's gonna get his three at bats and then they're gonna put Verdugo out in left field.
that's probably what they're gonna do.
It's fine.
Um, I would. Do you think they're gonna carry Grisham and Verdugo and Dominguez?
No, no. I think
Do you think
they'll
one of them's gonna be off? Like Grisham will be off?
I think Grisham will be left off. Yeah, I don't think he has any purpose on an ALDS roster unless somebody gets hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, so they'll probably have Dominguez start in left, and then maybe the seventh inning or something they'll put Verdugo in there. I still feel like you're going to see games where Verdugo does start.
Oh,
Um,
100%.
yeah,
He's been
um,
all year, way too much.
yeah, they did it too much to where I don't think they're going to totally knock him out. Um, what do you think about first base? Would you prefer Birdie, Rice, or Cabrera at first?
Rice stinks. I wouldn't even put
Rice
him on
is. I feel Rice can have a Greg Bird postseason.
I think Rice stinks.
Fuck. No, Rice is my guy.
I would probably go Birdie, honestly.
None of them have reps over there. That's what's terrifying.
Yeah, Cabrera played what, like 3 games at first base.
They wasted the entire summer using LeMahieu in that spot when Cabrera should have been.
Yeah, honestly, I would be fine with Birdie or Cabrera. Like flip a coin. Doesn't I don't.
I think Cabrera definitely has the bat.
Yeah, because he's a left-handed bat.
He's been hitting in the second half. Rice, he can walk. He hasn't shown that he stays in the zone. That's good, but like he just hasn't hit. And he's more a natural catcher anyway. I don't know. There's nobody. The defense is going to scare me there because Rizzo saved a lot of bad throws. But I'm guessing it's going to be. I have a feeling it's going to be Birdie, just because he has experience in the league, and he's played. I think he's played first before. So, um, what do you have most confidence in heading into tomorrow? Would you say, or just the ALDS? Would you say you have most confidence in the rotation or the lineup or the bullpen? What kind of makes you most comfortable?
It's between the rotation and the lineup. I'll probably
Yeah.
s- I'll probably say lineup just because I think there's going to be a lot of I think the addition of Soto helps the lineup so much. I think you're gonna have to throw to him, right? Because you're not gonna walk him and then you like walk Judge right after. Like
I
I think if
mean,
you throw to Soto and he gets on base, like you have to pitch to Judge too. Like
are
in
you
the
worried at
past,
all? Are you worried at all about hitting left-handed pitching? Because
yeah.
Cole Reagans is on that roster. He's going to be pitching, I think they said on Monday, and they have like 4 lefties in their bullpen, maybe more. So
Yeah, they're like the worst in the league against lefties.
it's really bad.
I was looking at the record versus lefties, and it's like it was like under 500.
Yeah, they just don't produce.
Yeah,
I don't know what like they have like lefties and righties all up and down their order, so you figure they pick the ball up better this year, but I don't know what it is. Maybe they have to bunt more. I have no idea, but they just haven't hit left-handed pitching.
I don't know. It's weird.
Um, but I think, I mean, we could talk about anything. I think at the end of the day, it's just going to come down to the captain, Aaron Judge. If he doesn't hit this postseason, nothing else matters. Literally nothing else will matter. You could talk about depth. You could talk about Soto. Judge has to hit. It's been 3 years in a row where he's gave them absolutely nothing in the playoffs. Earlier in his career, like 2017, I know he had moments, but he's now under contract. So he has to get the job done. And if Aaron Judge doesn't hit this postseason, not only are the Yankees screwed, but his legacy is kind of going to be, people are going to start talking about that a little more than his, regular season number. So I think it comes down to Aaron Judge at the end of the day. Because I think they actually have guys who can hit. Like Wells is capable, Jazz is capable. Volpe's struggling. I don't know if he's going to be able to hit, but they've got guys. Stanton has hit in the playoffs before, but I don't think any of that matters if Judge isn't hitting. But like you said, if they don't face him, those guys do have to step up. But I still think Judge is going to have to do his job.
Yeah, I think he's got a slug too.
Yeah,
I think, yeah, I think he just has to beat what he has been the last couple of seasons in the regular season. Because, the difference between a double in the gap and a home run over the fence is huge in the playoffs, obviously. So, I don't think he can slug, 450 in the playoffs and it's good.
No.
Because his slugging this year was 700, which
and
is
slugging was the OPS for the league.
You can't expect him to slug 700 in the playoffs, but can it be like
At least
600, 650?
I would say if you get me into the upper fives, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
He has to hit per power.
Right.
Yeah. So to me, it comes down to that. We can talk about anything, lefties, Reagans, and all that, but if Judge isn't hitting, then they're fucked.
Unless Soto carries him.
No, for sure. Soto has, I really have faith in Soto. I think Soto, what he did in 2019 as a friggin' teenager, I mean, that's ballsy. Doing it against the Houston Astros like that too. So I think Soto's going to have a good postseason. It's just going to be Judge. Yeah, I want to, because I don't think the playoff roster came out yet. No. So I'm going to read a couple of guys. I'm going to read who I have down on this roster. And then let me know if you would make any changes. So I think it's going to be Cole, Rodon, Heel. Yeah. Then in the bullpen, I've got Schmidt, Weaver, Hamilton, Canley, Holmes, Cousins if he's back, and then Tim Hill. Yeah. I've got Torres, Soto, Judge, Wells, Stanton. I think Cabrera makes it. Volpe, Chisholm, Trevino will make it as a backup. Verdugo, I think, is on it. Dominguez, I think, is on it. So that means that's up 21 guys right there. So that means 5 spots for either Rice, Birdie, Efros, Beater, Poteet, Meza, Stroman, Leiter, Grisham. I have a really bad feeling, just because Cashman's got an ego, that since he traded for Leiter, that he's going to be on the roster.
Well, I think he will too. Yeah, he probably will, even though he stinks.
So you think Leiter's going to be on the roster?
he would be a mop up kind of a guy.
So you think Stroman's not going to make the roster? Because I have Stroman as that mop up. I really don't know.
That's a good question.
Depends on how many position players they carry, how many pitchers.
I think Birdie will definitely make it. And did you say Cabrera?
Cabrera and Birdie probably make it.
Oh,
Poteet? You think Poteet makes it?
No.
You don't think Poteet makes it?
No.
I think if there's going to be an extra arm to carry, it should be Poteet versus Leiter or Stroman.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah. Mesa, I think. Well, from what I heard, a report that I saw something on Twitter that said they're going to carry Mesa because he's a lefty.
Just carry Tim Helen. I mean,
yeah, no, he's actually. I mean, I have no idea how long it's going to last, but he can actually. He's been getting outs.
It's like just some random scrap heap guy that's actually like decent.
I looked up his numbers. He had like 14 strikeouts in like 50 innings this year.
That's funny.
I have no idea how long it's going to last. But and then who was on the roster at the end when Cortez went down? They called up Beater. Do you think Beater's going to make it?
No.
So okay, so it's probably 13. You think they'll go 13 position, 13 pitcher? Or you think they'll carry more arms? They should probably carry another arm.
I think they'll go arms.
They probably should. All right. So I had a guest on the other day, and this is I'm curious to hear your thoughts, but I kind of know what you're going to say. Do you think if Gleyber Torres has another good postseason, because he's had a couple, not the last couple years, he's been pretty bad, but do you think if Gleyber Torres has another good postseason that he's back?
Yeah, I think he's increased his chances of being re-signed in the last couple months. Because, okay, earlier in the season, in the last couple of seasons, collectively, he's been brutal as a player overall with his bat and in the field. And like his effort, like he just dogs it some plays. And sometimes he's just like, you're like, what is this guy doing out there? Hitting 220 or whatever, 10 home runs. And you're just like, this guy's not good. But I think the last, I don't know, 2 or 3 months or whatever, he's been like a solid player at the top of the lineup.
Yeah.
So I feel like with Cashman's ego, he's not just going to want to let this guy walk, but I don't think he's going to get a huge contract. Like I could see him signing for like 3 years, like 50 million or whatever.
Do you think I'll do like a 1-year prove it deal?
No.
Like Correa did?
No, I doubt that. No.
Honestly, if he mashes in the playoffs, I really would. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I wouldn't mind bringing him back because I don't give a shit about the regular season anymore.
Yeah, he just needs to continue to just be like serviceable. Like he just can't suck. Like
Well, yeah.
On in the last couple of seasons.
That's it. Just, I mean, as far as the regular season goes, again, you're going to get the stars will carry you, but playoffs, your depth's going to be tested. And if he can hit in the playoffs, I'm bringing back anybody who has shown me a consistent resume year to year of hitting in the postseason. So if Torres puts up another good postseason, he's had 2018, I think 2019 he hit. If he could do it again, fuck it. I don't care.
Yeah, him getting on base is really important as well.
Are you worried about the defense? Because the way I'm looking at it, they've got a lot of guys just playing out of position. Like Judge is a right fielder playing center. Soto's a left fielder playing right. Dominguez is a center fielder playing left. Chisholm is playing third as a second baseman. I
didn't think about Chisholm. Chisholm's not great at third base.
No, I mean, he's got the ceiling, but you could see the low, the learning experience. The arm is just wild.
I think Rizzo being out, it's like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the Volpe doesn't have the greatest arm. Jazz has made bad throws. Torres is Torres. So I'm like,
he saves a lot of throws. And if that's not there, like you can't trust
And
Cabrera to be picking balls out of the dirt. And that can be the difference between an inning starting with one out or a guy no outs and a guy on second base.
and the Royals run. They run a lot. So if you go behind the dish, if Trevino's in there, he doesn't have a great arm. Austin Wells has, I would say, an average arm. So I'm also worried about the running game.
I don't think Trevino is going to be
Okay,
catching.
but still, like Wells doesn't have the strongest arm either.
Yeah, there.
Like that's
Defense is going to be it's not great. Like Soto is not great in right field.
no.
Diaz is not going to be fantastic when he plays in left field, as we've seen.
Yeah, that's
Chisholm is prone to making an error.
there's
Torres,
like how many plus defense? Like they have Volpe, right? That's like in Wells, I guess, but like, oof, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
I want to go back to the mound. Would you? I know they're probably going to go with Heel. Would you go with Schmidt if you had the option in Game 3?
I would just use four guys. I would just
I don't think they're going to because they have the extra day off.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to because I think they probably want to use one of them out of the pen, probably.
Yeah,
Or like use like Heel, and then if Heel like doesn't look great in 4 innings,
that's the
use
thing. Like
for an additional for like 2 or 3 innings.
Heel's
And
got
get like 6 or 7 out of 2 guys. But
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a tough call to use.
Heel's got the upside, but he's also got. I mean, all it takes is one start where he doesn't have his command or control, and if he's walking 3 guys in an inning, that's the difference of an entire game.
Usually you can see that pretty early on.
Yeah,
I think if it's the second inning and he's getting hit a little bit and he's thrown 52 pitches,
they're going to have a short
get
leash.
Schmidt up, yeah. I think they'll probably go with Heel just because he's been so good all year.
They'll probably use him as like they did with Sevy, where they just let him throw 4 innings, and third time through they'll pull him. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And then Schmidt, maybe he piggybacks, comes out afterwards, throws. They should definitely use Schmidt as a long man.
Yeah. If they do that, like he could pitch.
I would save the bullpen. I mean,
Yeah, he could pitch like game 1 if needed, although you hope he doesn't. Like
I would do it for Rodon,
Yeah.
lefty to righty like that.
Like he could pitch and say he throws 2 innings, like 35 pitches. Like he could throw in game 2 and then he could throw in possibly game 3 and definitely game 4.
Definitely game 4.
Yeah.
I would just go back to Cole at that point if it gets to 4. Why would you know what I mean? Why would you go to your 4th and not your ace?
Yeah.
That's why I only think they need 3. But are you concerned about the extra, the long layoff for Garrett Cole? Because Garrett Cole is kind of a creature of habit, and he's the guy who needs everything to be on schedule.
That's a good question.
Because when Cole's off, he's like really off.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't really know what to expect, honestly. I feel like he's a veteran. He's a Cy Young. Like he should be able to just handle that. But yeah, he also has to be like on his routine, and this is like way off of what the routine is. So yeah, I mean, it's something to think about tomorrow. Like you'll know in the first inning, like if he's off or not, and that could swing the whole game.
Yeah.
If his location's off and he throws some 94-mile-an-hour fastball,
especially now because he doesn't throw as hard as he used to.
Right. He always does that in the first inning too. He always throws like 94 in the first inning.
Yeah, it takes him a bit now.
Yeah.
And if he leaves now, you can't in today's game leave 94, 95 over the plate. It's not going to cut it. He doesn't throw 98 as consistently as he used to, so he's going to have to stay above the zone with the fastball and then go to that curve, go to the slider. The cutter's actually been a lot better for him lately. That was never a pitch I liked for him. I kind of thought Blake forced that, but it's been better. So yeah, you'll know what's cold, but I have confidence in him. He's the ace. He's been good in almost every playoff game for them. Obviously the Boston start, but I have confidence in him. I have Rodon's. It's his location too. He gave up 31 home runs this year. That's the thing I'm worried about. So if Rodon's another guy who can come out throwing 94, or you'll see him have nights where he throws it up to 97, 98.
Yeah. I think Rodon will be juiced up. Has he ever thrown a playoff game? Like, I don't think he has. He's been on the
Look that
Giants
up
and
for
the
me
White
if you
Sox.
can.
He's been on the Giants and the White Sox. Like, he might
Rodon.
have thrown one for the Giants.
I think he maybe has like one appearance.
He might have thrown like a wild card game for the Giants or something like that.
Let's see. He's got wild card game with Chicago, 0
Really?
innings, 2 runs.
Nice.
And then he's got the game 4 of the 2021 LDS, 2 2/3, 2 runs. So
On Chicago?
yeah. So not a lot of experience, but I just worry about his location. He's definitely diversified his pitch mix more this year. It's not great, but it's not just fastball slider. I feel like he's gone to the changeup more versus right-handers. And he, home mix in the curveball here and there too. So that's going to be a big part of how he does, just giving different looks to lefties and righties.
Yeah, I think he's going to be juiced up for a game. He's probably going to get game 2. I think he's going to be.
He's better at
sitting
home
at
too, I think.
velocity. Yeah. Yeah, it's all just about the location for him.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say I'm most confident in probably the lineup as well. But it's just going to come down to Judge and then the rotation. I think they'll be fine. I'm not terrified. Listen, dude, our bracket, no disrespect to Kansas City, to Detroit, to Cleveland, but you're the fucking Yankees, man. And if the Yankees can't come out of the American League with 3 mid-market teams from the Central, that is just, it's fucking embarrassing. And again, these are solid teams. I don't want to disrespect playoff teams, but you gotta go be the Yankees.
The combined payroll for the 3 teams is probably
Oh, I'm sure.
half of what the Yankees payroll is.
I'm sure each of them are like 115 around there.
No, I think it's probably
Less.
so. Oh yeah,
We can look. I want to look this up. That's a good. That's a good.
Is like less than $50 million.
Can you look it up for me? Because I want to crash my.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
I am very curious to see. I know the Yankees are at 300. Oh, it's gotta be. It's gotta be close.
Now my shit's not loading.
All right. Well,
Central. All right, let's go to Cleveland first. If this shit would load. Why is it giving me the?
I'll look it up right now. Just type in MLB payroll 2024.
All right,
Here it is.
this Zoom is like making
Yankees. I got it. Yankees were at 309. And Kansas City 122. Detroit 98. And who's the other team? Cleveland
Cleveland
baseball team 106.
Yeah, so that's like
So that's-
what, like 300 and something million.
That's,
So it's like-
that's basically the same as the Yankees payroll.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm not trying to disrespect playoff contenders, but like you have Soto and Judge. You have and Cole. You have to get this done. If there's gonna be a year where the Yankees come out of the American League and make a run, this has to be the year. Because you look into the offseason and you got a bunch of guys expiring. Your second baseman's expiring. Your closer's expiring. Not that I give a shit. You got the Soto situation. Garrett Cole's got the opt out. There's a lot on the line this offseason. So this is their window. You can't imagine when the Yankees traded for, or when they signed Garrett Cole, that they expected it to be at his age 34 season. So they have to get this done this year.
Yeah, especially there's no Houston.
Yeah, and Houston's out. That team fucking sucked this year. I never took them serious. Everybody was fucking afraid of them. I've been telling everybody all year. Everyone was such a bitch about Houston. I've been telling everybody that team's so mediocre this year.
Yeah, they weren't that great all year.
Oh my God, they were so old and they're washed. Everybody knew they were washed.
The AL West is brutal every single year. So
It's yeah.
you get a free division title for the last decade, basically.
Really? Yeah.
I think Texas might have won the division last year, but
And that was the fluke. That was a huge fluke. That team sucks too.
they suck too. Yeah.
Seattle's always mediocre.
The Angels suck.
Angels are never good, no matter who they have.
Yeah.
So, this has to be the year. That's basically it, man. If you have any other final thoughts before we wrap this up, let me know. Let them know.
Yeah, I think just to finish up that point, I think the optics, I think it depends on the optics, what I'm about to say. If they flame out in 5 games to Kansas City and it just looks terrible, I think Hal has not shown that he will do this, but I think you have to at least fire Boone if that happens.
Wasn't that last year?
Yeah, no, he's
Wasn't that last year?
but the AL is very weak. They're the clear favorite to win this series and the AL. There's no Houston. If you flame out this year and you just look bad, or your team just doesn't come ready to play or whatever, I think it has to be for him for firing just to happen. It just has to.
I think so. They gave him the 3-year extension last year, right? This was his first year on the extension.
I think so, yeah.
I think they're just going to let him. I really think no matter what happens, they're just going to let him. I think they have this weird 10-year rule. They gave Torres 10 years. They gave Girardi, I think, 10 years. Yeah. And I think they're going to let Boone play out 10 years.
Wow.
I think that's what they're doing.
Wow. He should have been fired
2020, after 2019.
I feel no, I think when they lost the wild card to Boston, I think I think that was 2020 or 2021.
2020 was the fake year.
Yeah,
when they played.
They played the Rays in 2020.
2021 was the 17-2 game, whatever that was, against Boston.
So that was 2018 when Boston.
That was 2018, the Severino game.
Yeah, that was when they won the World Series. Boston. That was 2018.
Oh, yeah, I was at that game. Okay, yeah, that was the Severino game.
Yeah, that was a joke.
What was the year where? Was there? What was? I don't know if I'm just imagining this, but didn't Harrison Bader not know that he was leading off before the game? Do you remember that?
I think that. Yeah, I think there was something along the lines of that.
God,
I don't remember exactly what it was, but yeah,
that should have been it right there. That's a manager.
Yeah.
So. I just don't. There have been so many perfect moments to fire him over the last couple of years. I don't think anything's going to do it at this point. I think they're really going to let him play out the 3 years. I just think that's because that's gonna be it.
What if they get swept? What if they get swept? How do you just?
They got swept last postseason they played in.
I know.
It's dumb. There's nothing that you can go back to so many things. There's nothing that's going to get it done.
Oh.
I just think this is
Houston, and then they missed the playoffs, and
Yeah.
he survived. He
There's
survived.
nothing. This
Yeah,
is
I
it.
guess
It's fucking. This is how they operate.
that's pretty bad.
So they have to get it done this year. This. There's no excuses. I mean, I had. You heard Michael K. Michael K. was on a radio show the other day, fucking hitting on him. So yeah.
They don't do it this year. When is it ever going to happen?
All right, that's it. Go win a fucking championship.
Yep.
Thanks for coming on.
Yep.
Okay. So that is it here for episode 718. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Dom joined us and we talked Yankees playoff baseball. So I'm very excited. This is the last playoff preview until we dance. It is postseason eve as I am recording this, and I should have this episode up and published by the same night, or if at worst, then tomorrow morning. So hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you during this ALDS series. We'll do episodes every 2 games, and then we'll do one at the end of the series as well. So thank you all for joining. Appreciate you listening, and I'll see you in the midst of playoff baseball. This episode was brought to you by Anchor.
Hey there! If you stayed the entire way through, we thank you immensely for it. We hope you enjoyed this podcast and that you come back for the next episode real soon. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, download these episodes, and share them with your friends as well. BD4 is a 5-star podcast simply because of you, and we'd like to keep it that way. Have a wonderful day. Go Yankees, and go Knicks!